Welcome back to SLPT. Enjoy part 2 of this episode. So, what are some pros and cons of being your own business owner?
Yeah. I think there's the pros by far, oversee the cons for sure. I love, love, being a business owner. It's been a dream of mine. I'm happy to say that I was able to do it sooner than later in my life. I think for me, the number one pro is just flexibility, like flexibility over your schedule and over your life. Like I was very easily able to like have my baby and still feel confident that my business could still operate without me. That's huge. Or just, making your own schedule and, oh, I have an evaluation, but I don't know, maybe you have a doctor's appointment that day. Like you can work your days around like your work schedule. Much more work-life balance that way. So flexibility is definitely my number one that comes to mind when it comes to pros. Um, Cons, and I've been thinking about this a lot more lately, is that you do become like having a private practice that's specialized in one particular area of our field. Like you become so specialized in that one thing and it's your world. Like it's all I think about. It's all I study up on. It's all I talk about with other clinicians is AAC. But to the point where I don't know. I sometimes feel like, am I losing my skill set then? Am I in all the other areas of our field? Um, so I think that that's just a con in being specialized and that you can't I feel like I don't have the opportunity to sharpen my skills on the other areas that I used to love doing as well.
Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. I think when you dive into something, you spend all your time working on that one thing, it becomes hard to keep the skills that you had learned before. That's natural. I think a lot of people have that kind of con as well when they specialize. Where do you see AAC and me going in the future? How does it look to you going forward?
Yeah. I think about this every day because I constantly want to grow and I have so many ideas that are kind of like going through my head. Definitely want to stick with what we're doing right now. I think we're making a really big difference and really shifting the mindset surrounding AAC in the school setting in particular, and also just educating parents. So definitely want to still stick with working with schools, giving that parent training. But I think the best part about being your own business owner is you can grow things when you want. So going back to like for a couple of things, my specialty in voice, like I love voice therapy. Do I do it anymore? No, unfortunately not. But I still have like colleagues from my cohort messaging me like, "Hey, I have a client, they need voice, like can you help them?" And I hate saying no. So I think that maybe that can be an option, like cuz I have yes, I have AAC and me, but I have the business background now maybe to expand and like offer voice therapy again, which is like my jam along with AAC. And then another big thing, a big goal of mine, like long term, would be offering all services. So maybe opening up a clinical setting and having like an adult section and a pediatric setting and offering not just speech in all areas of speech, but PT, OT, like the whole gamut. I would love to kind of explore that clinical setting, with this background now, but
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think hiring the first 4 SLPs is absolutely the step in that direction, right?
yeah, I hope so. That's wonderful. They are killing it. I thought that I would have a hard time stepping away from work, like, when taking a maternity leave, but I feel really confident knowing that I have, like, there's so many other people, that know what they're doing. They're specialized. They don't need hand-holding. And I think that having a business that I was, like, the sole proprietor, like, the entire time, and I was the only one doing things, I put a lot of pressure on myself. Like, I'm doing the evals, I'm doing the coaching, I'm doing the billing, mhm, and passing that down kinda scared me, but I think it was definitely the step in the right direction to grow. So definitely want to keep this practice around, want to keep it growing and just I mean, ultimately making a difference. It's so exciting to see my name out there and people talking about AAC and me and saying like, we actually helped. Like that's the biggest thing. And I think you mentioned it in your first episode, like just when you were introducing your podcast about we go into this profession to help people. So the more people that you can help, the more productive I feel. So I think if I kind of open the doors to other things and other avenues within this practice, then I could help more people.
I love that. I love that. And yeah, I did mention in the first episode, I think us joining this career, I think speaking for all SLPs, we joined to help people. And you wanting to branch out even more, and just helping more and more people, which I think is super honorable and amazing. And you're doing it in a fashion that is excellent and to its top tier standards. So we all applaud you. And is there anything that you maybe see differently now? Now you are not the SLP providing the services. Now you're managing those SLPs. Is there anything that you see differently? Anything lessons learned?
Um, at this time, probably not too much. I think the biggest thing for me was just letting go and having confidence that others can do things too. I love the fact that there's so many people out there that are becoming more in tune with AAC, and we have a lot of productive conversations, and you can kind of talk to a variety of people in our field now and have very productive conversations on AAC. Whereas I think years ago there just wasn't enough out there, and we none of us were really super confident with our practices. So I feel like now, like with all the knowledge that's out there and all the changes in technology too, uh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of us out there that kind of are stepping into this passion of AAC. So I just feel more confident knowing that other people are also becoming more confident in this area of our field.
Yeah, and it is actually a very big area once you really get into it of
Yes.
alternative technology. It's massive. So yeah, the more people, the merrier. Really, we need them.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I love having like group conversations and doing what you're doing, like spreading awareness of, yes, like different areas in our field, different professions. But in any area of specialty, there's going to be like cohorts or little groups that you can join and kind of discuss with like-minded individuals, or not so like-minded individuals where you can kind of
Yeah.
open your mind to new new ideas.
Yeah, 100%. Um, Gabriella, what do you think, if you had to kind of assume AAC looks like in a few years? We project it out a few years. What could that look like, even alternative technology look in a few years, given artificial intelligence, given different ways people are interacting with, the community? Any ideas that spark your mind? I just thought of the question right now.
Yeah. Technology, yeah, like with the growth, I mean, there's so much changes already. Like when it comes to AI and technology in general, there's two things. So this is twofold for me. One, I'm hopeful that AAC is more, like people are more aware of it. I still find
Right,
when people ask me what I do, or like if they ask me what my business name stands for, like, oh,
right.
AAC, like what's that? I kind of want to minimize that question of what's that. Like I want to know like what AAC is. I want people and our clients to get out in the community with their devices and their technology,
Yes.
whether it's just your iPad with a language system or if you're going more like eye gaze or even in the future, like I don't know if you were thinking this too, but maybe more of like the technology that's coming out there where you think it happens, right?
Neuralink, yeah.
Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you. But that is just wild to me. I mean,
right.
there's so much, and this is why I like AAC too. Like, you could use your communication device not just for functional communication, but environmental control, like turning on the lights in your room, like making it
Yep.
happen. I don't think that is talked to enough either. Like, we focus so much on language and what it can do for someone, but like, what about using that language to control your environment? Or
I love that. I don't think it's touched on at all. So I think the fact that you're bringing it up right now is something that people are hearing for the first time.
yes. And then there's
Yeah.
technology out there now too where like your AAC device can control your wheelchair. Like there's so
Mm.
many cool things out there that uh, honestly, you have to put yourself in the scenario to learn, but I'm just amazed. I'm excited to see what more comes in the world of technology, and I think that's another reason why I like AAC so much is because you can keep on learning. Like, the learning never stops.
The learning never stops because the technology never stops either.
Right.
So I think we're in for a real big change in the future, and
Mhm.
I think it's a positive change. So I'm really excited to see how AAC goes in the next few years and how different it looks in maybe 5 years or maybe in 2 years.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it probably is 2 years. I mean,
Yeah.
every time I get a new email from different, like, device manufacturers, and they're like,
Right.
this update and this new language system," it's like, "Oh my goodness, no wonder why, like, so many SLPs that were kind of afraid to step into this realm," because it's like, how do you ever feel specialized when there's so many continuous changes? But
I think it's just being comfortable being uncomfortable and just rolling with the punches and just working through everything, you know?
yeah, and there's gonna be situations where you're working with a particular client or their technology, and you might feel like, "Ooh, I might not be, like, I don't know how to fix this situation," especially if it's tech. Like, it was something device, like, that's the other thing, I became so much more tech savvy, like, not just your system, but, "Oh, well, let me see, let's troubleshoot that." Like, I never thought that I would be, like, the IT person, but
Yeah.
it's kinda how I feel when it comes to some of the devices now, but you're
Yeah, I mean, you take on that role. Anytime a teacher, classroom that I work in has an issue with an AAC device, they call my number and I'm the IT guy, you know? So, so yeah, you take on that role when you work with, high tech devices.
Yeah, and like I said, like, going back to that imposter syndrome, that's probably why
Exactly.
too, because you're gonna step into these uncomfortable situations where people might view you as a specialist, but you know so much. Like, you just have to be confident in what you know and apply it, and then have the knowledge or confidence to maybe, like, go home and look into that further. I think that got me a lot, like, where I am now. It's like, I don't know, was that the best decision? And I would really reflect on that. And I find that I still do that. Like, after an AAC evaluation, I will work with that particular student, and I might have an hour-long drive home, and I'm just, like, thinking about how that evaluation went and kinda, like, I don't know, like, critically thinking, like, "Did I make the best decision? Is there something else out there? I don't know, maybe I'll look into this." So, I think also assessing yourself, all the
Yes.
time and not being, again, like we mentioned before, but complacent. Like, complacency just can't be a thing
Right.
in this field, no matter where you are.
I 100% agree. Awesome. Well, just kind of bringing it full circle, Gabriella. You spoke initially about how you got into speech, uh, actually through voice, and then how funny it is that you are now transitioned to AAC.
Mhm.
In my mind, the farthest thing from voice.
Totally.
And
Totally.
yeah, and you did that through just getting so much experience. You got a lot of experience in a lot of different things. You just said yes to a lot of things, it seems to me, as soon as you got out of college. And those experiences drove you to AAC. And then you opened up your own private practice in a moment that was probably the most unlikely moment. The moment where you didn't have anything else to fall back on, and you bet on yourself, which is really really cool. And I hope a lot of other people out there think to themselves, don't kick the can down the road 40 years, like you were saying earlier. That you can take action now. And said no one wants to set up their own private practice. We don't learn any of that in school,
Mm.
but once you do, it can be so rewarding. And a lot of what you shared with me are things that are so rewarding. And now you're able to work with other professionals and kind of show them that.
I think that's a big piece of advice that I would give to any clinician is that don't doubt yourself and reject a situation where you might be able to really learn more. Like, if I might have not have even taken that job with that previous practice knowing that it was specifically for assistive technology and AAC because I didn't know much about it. And I
Right.
said yes. I was like, let me try it out. We'll see how we feel. It gave me so much opportunity. I said yes to clients that you know, might not be my area of expertise, but I learned a lot along the way. And then that's not
Right.
clinically and therapeutically, but like what I wanted to do, like with my life, like with my career. So I think saying yes, and I put that in quotes, is huge, and a big takeaway from this conversation today too, and that's something I plan to keep doing.
Yeah, I love that, and I think, like, we owe it to ourselves to say yes to opportunities. Um, I think when you're young, the more yeses you can give and the more things that you can try, is amazing, and maybe when you're older, maybe when you have something that you've built, you can say no to other opportunities because you're really refining that one thing.
Yes.
But I think in your journey, you said yes to a lot of things, which led you to a really cool business. So that's kind of what I'm seeing after hearing this story. Gabriella, do you want to jump into a fire round?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. What is one thing that you wish grad school taught you?
How to run a business? That comes to mind. That's my number one for right now, and just being confident in yourself.
Instilling that confidence, yep. Starting your own business. More so like the paperwork or actually like what steps do you need to take to start your business?
Oh, kind of both. I mean, they kind of into twofold, but maybe just like an intro course, an intro to the practice or an intro to business. It's something that I would have never thought I wanted to take a class in business. I absolutely didn't want to major in it, business or finance, but it does come into play when you are your own business owner. So I wish I had a little bit more background in that.
All right, great. What is your favorite SLP material, game, tool to use?
Oh, well, in the AAC world, I'm coming from like language systems. So I am currently in love with Touch Chat Word Power. That is by far one of my favorite language systems. I find that it can really offer the best support for the majority of my clients. So Touch Chat all the way. Love it.
Yeah, I'll support Touch Chat too.
Yeah. I mean, they're
Um,
all great, but it's just
yeah,
that one that I've been really passionate about lately.
I'm a little bit more of a Proloquo to go guy, but
Okay.
I understand the Touch Chat wave as
Yeah.
well.
See, everybody
Yeah,
has their own little niche.
exactly.
Mhm.
All right. If you weren't an SLP, what would you be?
The first thing that came to mind was a dolphin trainer, 'cause I was one of those every girl that grew up in the '90s wanted to be a dolphin trainer, so yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but no, I went to school for biology, so originally, so it would have been something in maybe the medical field or bio related.
Yeah, awesome. And what is your go-to drink to get you through the day? It wouldn't be SLPT without it. What do you have there?
This is my homemade latte, but I will drink any coffee that is caffeinated.
Any coffee with caffeine.
Yeah, don't give me the
Sign us
tic-tac
up.
right now.
100%. Well, Gabriella, your story is proof that it's okay to pivot, to fall in love with something new,
Mhm.
and to build something new too. So thank you for being our very first guest and kicking things off with us at SLPT. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can go on Instagram at AAC underscore me underscore. That's the Instagram handle, and preferably at our website, www.aac-me.com.
I'll leave the links down below in the description of the podcast. So if anyone needs that quick link, feel free to reach out to Gabriella. Amazing. I love it. Thank you so much, Gabriella.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was exciting.
Super exciting. All right. Thanks, everyone.